Hi, everybody, and welcome to What You Need to Know. I am Sybil Wilkes, and it's great to have you all here on this post Valentine's
For
Day.
some people, Sybil, for some people. Some women really think it's Valentine's Day today.
Well, yeah, because there's some who are in kind of sort of in the relationship,
They
but
call
not
it
really.
quarantining.
And I don't know if the weather is affecting this delayed Valentine's Day or not for some people, but it is.
Chris Paul.
Sorry, I'm late. My wife said she wanted to celebrate Valentine's Day today for some reason. So,
all
right, player.
Yeah, she had to go out all day yesterday. I don't know what's going on.
Nice. Well, I'm glad.
Look at Sybil covering for her girl. Nice. That's nice.
You know,
nice.
Rachel can do no wrong. She can do no wrong in my book. Absolutely, because I know you types, so I'm just saying. So, and it's also President's Day, or as I was reminded, Barack Obama Day.
Obama. How come y'all didn't tell me how expensive plants were? I went out and got me a plant for my background. Hold on.
You bought that shit at IKEA.
Maybe Coy can sing you a seedling.
Can you see it?
That's one of those trees from IKEA. You got to put it together.
Yeah, that's better. That's much better.
It's
you can really see it there. Yeah, and you look closer to Coy that way because Coy looks like she's growing out of her plant.
I'm just gonna hold this motherfucker the whole show, Sybil.
I'm embracing my flower childness today.
Chris, look at Coy. Coy look like she grown out the soil today. Look at her, man.
Hello, Coy. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. In the world of Atlanta, it is cold and rainy, where most of the country is having snowstorms. And I'm finding that fairly odd that Georgia is one of the only places that isn't getting snow this go around, even though we don't often get it.
Yeah.
I'm so mad I went with this bit because I gotta hold this plant
you gotta hold
the whole damn show. Shit.
And Huggy, you are known to commit to the bit. So hello, Huggy and plants.
Yeah. What's up? What's up, Sybil?
And hey, Chris Paul, how you doing?
Put that shit down. It's a distraction.
That's what she said.
Okay.
Hello, Sybil. How are you?
I'm good. Hot off the presses, this news has come out just in the last half hour or so. You know that Raphael Warnock, Reverend Warnock, is in his seat, the United States Senate, representing the state of Georgia for 2 years. He must run in 2022. Well, you know what? He has somebody who's going to run against him because David Perdue has already filed to run for senator. As he's the Republican that lost to John Ossoff, for those of you who don't remember.
He'll take his chances against the black guy this time.
No.
And he has filed paperwork with the FEC, the Federal Elections Commission, tonight, designating a principal campaign committee titled Perdue for Senate. It's on.
Yeah, it is.
Bring it on. I think that's what Reverend Warnock is probably saying after his last week of the trial and all that happened for his first time around in the Senate. A lot of activity going on there as they had the trial for a minute. And they voted to, they didn't vote to acquit, but they did not have the 2/3 of the Senate that they needed, the 67 votes.
I don't see a guy named Perdue faring well with a black guy.
Gonna eat him up like the chicken.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's gonna get battered.
Like catfish.
And you know, preachers know about some catfish and some chicken. So that is the truth. You guys, we were talking about the weather a little bit, and I wanted to get that news.
Now, how you guys doing down in Dallas? So?
Well, can you see the snow behind me? Can you see in the background?
I thought that was a filter.
No, that's the real thing.
Wow.
And,
you got more snow than the '80s Cowboys.
Oh, what in the Hollywood Henderson hell are you talking about?
Spoken like a true Washington football.
Is that Michael Irvin behind you?
Growing out of my shoulder. Yeah. Yeah, we got several.
In an Amazon uniform.
Got several inches of snow in the Dallas-Fort Worth area overnight, and the temperature dropped precipitously. At one point, we were in the single digits, and we're probably back there now.
There is somebody behind you.
There is somebody.
Oh, that's...
Lock the door, Sybil. Damn.
Sybil.
That was Michael Irvin.
That's Michael Irvin. I told my.
I didn't think that he would come by quite so soon.
That just looked weird. So we had the orange coat on in the background.
Sybil live in a good neighborhood. You got white folks walking around in the snow. She got a good neighborhood.
That's okay, Michael Irvin. Would you like to come and be a part of the show?
They got the white people in the neighborhood knocking on the door, asking you need to shovel the snow.
Right.
or did you have growing up? Were you one of those kids that would you like your snow shovel?
Yeah.
And they said, well, yes. And like, well,
right.
Where's your shovel?
Right. we would get up early in the morning, knock on neighbors' doors, and shovel their front and shit, and give you $5 for shoveling a half a fucking block. You remember this shit?
We didn't have nothing like that growing up where I'm from in Southern California. There were no leaves on the ground. There was no snow. There was no rain. Like, you had to hustle like the other drug dealers and everybody else in California if you wanted to make some money as a kid.
Y'all had a different kind of snow out there. Huh?
Yeah.
It was illegal.
It's the name of the popular series. Yes. Chris, did you have that too? Did you go out there and try to, make some cash right quick during those occasional winter days?
I was a lazy kid. Who grew into a lazy adult. I was just thinking about
Sybil, translation, both parents in the household.
But when my wife and I first moved,
me and my stepfather had to shovel snow.
When we first moved to this neighborhood, we got a big blizzard, right? And my wife, I'm in my office. Now, my office is in the front of the house, and you can see the driveway. So my wife got up, I'm in there drinking coffee, and my wife goes outside and starts shoveling. All these white husbands on the street, we're the only ethnic couple, obviously, in this neighborhood. She goes out there shoveling. They all come over with their snow blowers. And then at one point, they must have asked where I was because she turns to the house pointing, and you can see me in the window.
And you're standing there.
I dove onto the floor and crawled to the living room and stayed there until they finished using their snow blowers and cleaned my whole driveway to help this poor little Latina lady who moved in. To help the poor little Puerto Rican lady that moved in.
That's some real life Modern Family shit going on over there, Chris.
Okay. Oh, that is funny, Chris.
That's hilarious.
And for years later, they kept pointing to,
that's the one.
Right.
That's the one.
Oh, that's funny. And what about your kids, Chris? Do they get out and do any of that, or are they just like the old man?
No, one of my sons, he wouldn't shovel our driveway, but he would be gone early in the morning shoveling around the neighborhood for money.
He know where he gonna get that money from.
Yeah.
The hell we live, he gonna get that money, right?
Okay.
He did free labor.
Me and my sister used to hit cars with snowballs. You remember that shit, Chris?
Until one car stops.
Yeah, that's true shit. One car stopped, bro. I took off running up the alley, and my sister ratted me out, bro.
Oh,
my brother did it. He's right there.
You know him from the radio.
Yeah.
Well,
that's a true story too, man.
As someone is saying, Florida is looking pretty good right now, and
I think it's grown.
not mad at this. I'm not mad at this. So we'll see. Any word come out? You guys are in the DMV. Any talk about the surprising outcome of the trial over the weekend?
I think everybody pretty much the real surprise is that the Democrats ended up appearing to have gone soft. Like they could have called witnesses, they didn't. It's like they were like, let's just wrap this up.
That shit wouldn't have done it. It wouldn't have done it good, bro.
The Republicans never would have went out like that.
No.
So
they would have dragged this out. It would have been as long and as painful as possible.
Right.
And that's what I was wondering, because the surprise was they came to a point where even Lindsey Graham said, yeah, okay, let's call witnesses. And then they went behind the closed doors and they came out and said that the woman who was told about the conversation that Kevin McCarthy had with Donald Trump from Kevin McCarthy, she had her statement. She was willing to do whatever it took to get this out there. And they said, no, we'll just submit it into the record and
right.
We're good.
That's what they were saying. We got the testimony entered into the record. That's a victory.
No.
Who the hell is going to read who's going to read that?
Nobody.
Right. And Stacey Plaskett, from the delegate from the Virgin Islands, said, we didn't need more witnesses. We just needed senators with backbones.
Spines.
Yeah, with spines.
Right.
And that's a good statement, but still doesn't answer the question, why did they not choose it? I mean, you had people who were a part of the insurrection who said they'd be willing to testify. Well, take them up on it.
Right.
And they
wanted
to.
Have done no good, so I still don't think it would have done no good.
They wanted to.
They said, because Donald Trump has disappointed us, we're willing to turn testimony on him.
Yeah, it wouldn't have changed any other senator's minds, but I just think for history's sake,
right,
we should be able to and let all these people go on the record in public on national television for us all to see.
Right. And here's the other thing, Chris. I think that if they had witnesses and there were people who were really there telling their side of the story and how it happened in their eyes and how they came there at the coercion of Donald Trump, then your constituents are going to see this. And they're going to remember all of this conversation as you voted against this man or voted for him, however you choose to look at it, in terms of acquitting or convicting him. And so that could be something that, could be used against them in 2022 or 24.
Right.
I don't know. It just seemed like a big waste of time for them not to. And one of the Democrats said, we need to hurry up and do something because these people want to get home for Valentine's Day. Are you kidding me?
As old as their wives are?
They already know what they're getting.
Right.
And probably what they were promised, but not getting, Coy. And they were going home if they were really getting any action. So
I think it's just really difficult to hype up us having 3 co-equal branches of government when now we've established that one of them is above the law.
Yeah.
One of them can now get away with anything, even death,
murder.
Even murder.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and in tomorrow's newsletter, there's more talk about this because it's just interesting to see what is going to happen now. Now they're talking about a 9/11 type of commission to investigate the day and leading up to the day.
No, they mean they're going to start at 9 a.m. and end at 11. It's over.
And there is talk about them investigating the use of the 14th Amendment, Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which does talk about the president and being guilty of insurrection and how they can vote regarding that. So that means if they are able to find him guilty of that, it takes a simple majority, and that is when he will not be able to run for another federal office. So that's one thing. Yeah, absolutely.
But let's be honest, one thing that is great is that during all of this, Trump has no voice. Like, we don't have to read it, any tweet. I just saw today that they thought he was going to do a press conference after he was acquitted, but they're not going to, because now that he's no longer in the White House, he doesn't have that team of people around him who can make him look good.
Right.
It just has to be basically whatever we did for ourselves here tonight to come on this broadcast. That's all he's got.
Right.
And he can't, you could tell by his hair and his makeup. Yeah, he can't. Yeah.
He's looking like Joe from The Lion. From what's the name of that? Joe Exotica. Yeah, as he was waiting to get bounced out of prison, and he needs all of that to come and to make him up. One good thing did come out of the session on Friday in the United States Senate, and that was Mr. Eugene Goodman, one of the U.S. Capitol Police officers, the man who saved many. According to the video that we all saw, the initial video showing him using himself as a decoy to draw the insurrectionists away from the Senate chamber. And then during the during the presentation this week for the Democrats, it showed him as he came back and grabbed Senator Mitt Romney to get him out of harm's way.
Mitt better put Eugene in his will, damn it, Sybil.
Right.
And
but
so
we also learned from all that Black Twitter's got to slow their roll a little bit. Remember when the video first came out of him running?
Yeah.
He was a clown. He was a clown out here in these streets.
They clowned him.
They clowned him, and it turned now this guy is getting medals because he saved the day.
Yeah, he's getting the highest medal that the Congress is able to give, and so he's getting the Congressional Gold Medal for his heroic actions. And even Mitt said, he saved my ass. Those are not Mitt's words, but you know what he meant. And also the House has voted to grant the Congressional Gold Medal to the U.S. Capitol Police officers and law enforcement personnel who protected them. So a lot of people are going to get their due and get their attention.
Yeah.
But the thing that I talked about in the newsletter, guys, is that it's great that this Black man is getting this attention now, and that he's getting the gold medal. He is now the acting deputy sergeant at arms for the Senate, which I hope comes with a pay raise and all of that, and takes him out of street duty and what have you. That's street duty. Just thinking back to the 1970s with Frank Wills.
Right.
And the man who was the security guard that discovered the break-in at the Watergate Hotel, and how his life should have changed. He should have been lifted up, and he should have gotten all of the accolades.
Right. Like Bob Woodward and them. They got millions. They wrote
my gosh, yeah, exactly. And this man, he died penniless. The crazy thing is that the Post did a great story about him and talked about it. And did you know that this happened in 1972 when he discovered the break-in? In 1973, he went to his bosses after he had done all of this, and he went to his bosses and asked for a raise from his $80 a week security officer's job, and they said no.
Wow.
And it's because of his treatment. Because of his treatment, to this day, when Black security guards see something, they don't say shit.
That's facts.
That's true.
They don't say shit.
I don't get paid enough for this.
Right.
Okay. And you saw what they did to Frank Wills, and so God bless him. But one of the things that I did learn, I think Kevin Woodson told me this, because Kevin was our Black history authority. And so he was hired by Dick Gregory for years to work for him, whether he was doing security or whether he was selling the Dick Gregory diet, the Bahamian diet stuff and all of that. He was on his payroll for years, and then he eventually went back home to take care of his family, and he died.
Wow.
Oh, and he went to prison. He was arrested and sentenced for stealing a $12 pair of sneakers. He spent a year in jail for this.
Wow.
And Richard Nixon, he got pardoned.
Wow.
This is just a lot. His story is just fascinating to me, and another one of those things I think people need to know about and perhaps maybe do a movie like that in the days of Deep Throat and all that kind of stuff. So
Rachel, do you have a chapstick? My lips are drier than Melania's Valentine's night. Yeah, my lips are dry.
You need to spray. You need to spray chapstick, bro. The spray on.
Is it too dry in there? Because we're cool.
Hey, Mom, make sure there ain't the Gorilla Glue.
Right. Oh, I get nervous every time
did
I
you guys
see pictures like that.
Did on Saturday Night Live with Regina King?
I didn't see it.
Oh, I gotta watch
Was
it.
it good?
It was funny.
Yeah.
I was surprised they kept saying, "We are not dumb people." I was like, wow. But they kept saying it.
It was. I thought that was the funniest bit they did all night. Quite honestly.
I need to see that.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Yeah. I'm back, baby. I'm back,
baby. He's back, baby.
Okay, look at him.
I'm glistening.
Kissably soft now.
Thank you, Mama.
There you go. There you go.
It's on my face where? Hold on.
Oh.
She's wearing her Valentine's pajamas.
I see, man.
Beautiful. Hey, Rachel.
Oh, look.
Okay, so Coy, we have a story in which, once again, police coming in without identifying themselves, or at least that is the allegation. And this took place in Jacksonville.
Yes, in Jacksonville, Florida.
A young Black woman and her fiance in their apartment, and SWAT police coming in. And she said they did not identify themselves. So tell us about Diamonds Ford and her fiance, Anthony Gant.
Yes, so Diamonds Ford and her fiance, Anthony Gant, were asleep in their homes. Police, according to reports, they claimed that they announced themselves via loudspeaker. However, Diamonds Ford claims she was not aware of who was breaking into her home. They woke up to the sounds of her bedroom window being broken. So she grabbed her firearm that she legally owns, fired shots, ran to her bathroom and called 911 for help, and basically stated that there's an intruder, somebody just trying to break into my home. When she realized it was police, she did surrender to them. They were serving a warrant as a part of a nationwide narcotics search. And I'm trying to figure out how a nationwide narcotics search has something to do with this young woman, her fiance, in this apartment in Jacksonville, Florida, because there was no specification as far as how much drugs were found. They said she was charged with attempted murder of a police officer and armed possession of marijuana because she did fire shots. One officer was wounded with non-life-threatening injuries. And so now there are several advocacy groups that are calling for charges against her and her fiance to be dropped. They did raise.
She was jailed. They were jailed, right?
They were jailed. Last I checked, the fiance is still jailed. And this happened during last year, at the end of last year. And so her bond was posted, it was set for $535,000, which is very high.
Interesting amount. Yeah.
She's not a flight risk. This is what her attorney argued. She's not a flight risk. We're not understanding why this is set so high. However, the advocacy groups also did raise that amount of money. Her fiance is still being held on bail for $350,000, which is a crazy amount. And they're really trying to figure out, how does this happen again? Here we are, we see yet another case of authorities breaking into someone's home. And in a sense, even though in Florida there are no knock warrants, that's not something that's legal. But if you don't make your presence announced as a police authority, then in a sense that is not knocking and making people aware of what's happening. This can happen again and again, and we can have several other cases that are similar to Breonna Taylor happen. And this is the same thing that has happened with
this
Breonna
is a miracle
Taylor.
that the same thing did not happen, right?
Exactly. It's a miracle that she was not hurt. harmed or killed within this incident. And, we can name several examples of this going on in less than a year. With one case in particular of Ann Jeanette Young in Chicago, who authorities were serving a search warrant and they were at the wrong address. And she was made to stand naked and handcuffed in her own home as they continued to search the wrong address. There are several other cases like this in Chicago where SWAT members have broken into several apartments. And we've seen instances where not only are adults affected, but children are affected and they're traumatized by this. So we just kind of wonder, where does this stop? Can we go to sleep? And what do we do when officers break into our homes unannounced? We had this happen. There's another situation like this happened in Georgia a few years back with an elderly woman who thought that was awful. It was awful. She thought it was intruders, and she shot at them and they killed her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now black people can't even defend their own home. When somebody breaks in our house, we got to ask, are you the cops?
Right.
Are you the police?
Right.
Before we defend our home.
And, Florida is famous for not allowing Black people to use the castle law or any of those things in terms of protecting their own property. They're good for that. Even Marissa, what was Marissa's last name? But she was Marissa Alexander, I think. And she was the woman who was having a fight with her husband, and she fired her gun, not at him, but at like a wall or something to try to scare him off. And she ended up in prison for that because she called herself protecting her property, and they don't allow that, especially for Black people. And so, but white people are fine. The castle law works for them. But in these cases, in Kentucky, in Chicago, in Jacksonville, you name it, these cases. And the horrific thing is not only the amount of money that they held her on, her bail at $535,000. And luckily, these advocacy groups, and we should name them, Dignity Power, the National Bail Fund Network, and the Minnesota Freedom Fund, raised an excess of funds to help pay her bond and are calling for charges against them to be dropped. She has been released, as Coy said. However, her boyfriend remains jailed on the $350,000 and attempting, the attorneys have filed a motion to have that reduced, and hopefully some of that money can go to get him out as well. This is unbelievable.
And meanwhile, in Idaho, you saw that? In Idaho, white folks are outraged because the cops shot and killed a white dude in his backyard. Yeah. They thought he was another suspect.
Yeah.
Right. So, and my problem, what I fear is because the cop is a Latino, this will be the one time that they punish the cop.
Yeah.
Right.
Or something like this. It wasn't, the other guy they were looking for was hiding in a shed in somebody else's backyard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we all know Black people get killed in their backyards.
Absolutely. Going into their houses with their phones in their hands.
Right.
Or a sandwich.
Yeah. Or a sandwich. Right. We have somebody who is coming in here. Let's see. Sabrina says, why can't they knock in the daytime? If any of us are asleep, I would never hear anyone announce themselves until they broke in. That's an automatic setup.
Exactly.
I'm with you, Sabrina.
Yeah. I wonder the same thing. Like, the worst time to interrupt anybody, and I don't want to be stereotypical, but I think it's true. The worst time to interrupt anybody Black is when we're getting ready for work in the morning. If you stop that process, I gotta stop putting on my eyelashes. I gotta get these kids ready. You gonna come now? We gonna be up. We gonna come and sit at the door at that time.
Okay.
What about it? What about at night? What about at night though? It's a bad time when Black folks are making love. You know, don't come knocking on my door between 1:30 and 1:32.
That long, huh? Okay.
A lot of quick draws up in the house, though. Huh?
That's a bigger window than I thought. So one of the when you were talking about Ann Jeanette Young, that was a situation where she was just coming home from work, was changing her clothes and getting ready for bed, and they did that. And in no announcement, they just broke in. They rammed the door open, and the guy they were looking for was in the apartment next door. and he had an ankle bracelet on, and so an ankle monitor, and they couldn't differentiate between the apartments, and even as she told them, she was a middle-aged social worker, standing there naked, and they knew that she had some answers to give
I would
them.
dare say that if police departments across the country, if they called Black folks and say, look, can you come into the come into the station tomorrow morning, and if you don't, we will knock on your door. We will bust into your house at 3 in the morning.
Okay.
Half of us will show up at the station. Because we don't want to be put through no changes at 3 in the morning. We'll come down there. Right. Especially because it always turns out these are the wrong people.
Yeah, exactly.
The other half of us will argue with them on the phone and say, well, now why the hell you need me to come down there? I don't know you.
No, and then you put a car.
Then you put California. That's the
then you put some police cars outside of their house. So the ones who were going to run, they run right into the arms of the waiting police.
Right. Right.
The ones who aren't, we'll see you down at the police station during business hours. Nobody gets killed. Nobody's homes get destroyed. No doors get kicked in. We're not even talking. We're talking about people selling drugs.
Right.
We're not talking about people wanted for serial killers.
Yeah. It's just disgusting. It's
the militarization of the police departments and tactics that they use overseas in wartime.
Right.
To capture persons of interest. And now they're using that against those tactics against their own citizens and expect us to comply when we have other factors going on. Some of us are armed and legally armed.
And legally armed.
And the first thing that we're going to think at night, and we're being woken up from our sleep by somebody breaking in, is this is an intruder.
Right.
And for the record, I don't even know if what I just said is some ignorant shit. But the point is, if it's ignorant shit, but it's militant, you'll get other Black folks to go, "Yep, that's right."
Yeah, that's right.
True.
We're down for that. If it's militant, we are down for that.
Let's do it.
Yep. That's absolutely right. So I want to talk to you, fellas, about your little video excursion, your virtual comedy show the other night.
Oh yeah, that one was on fire.
You guys you brought the fire, and had a lot of people on with you in your effort to support.
Thank you for acknowledging, Sybil. You're the first person to acknowledge what we did.
Are you serious?
He said because Tom's people didn't even not Tom in particular, but the cruise people, the cruise people who begged us to do it.
Right.
We haven't even heard from them.
You gave them a shout out and everything. You're like, thanks to Wendy, thanks to Lou, thanks to and nothing.
Nothing.
Treated us like street booty, Sybil.
Well, for folks who haven't seen it, you can go. Is it blackamericaweb.com?
blackamericaweb.com. It's also on the Black America Web Facebook page, Black America Web YouTube. Bootleg.
Coy, when I tell you they sold this, I mean they were doing everything. They were sometimes they have
she about to call us Diamond and Silk, bro.
No. It was all for the good, because you're doing it for a good cause, and that
absolutely
to get kids to keep kids in historically Black colleges, and to help Tom, because he's out of this business, and so how do you go out there and advertise like this, especially in the age of coronavirus, and the last cruise was canceled, and now they're making up for it in November. And so, you guys, I mean, when I tell you this was like, it was like, you know what it was like? It was like watching you guys on cruise TV.
That's how it felt. That's how it felt.
It did. Yeah. That's exactly. Yeah, it was. And bringing folks on. And I'm glad you finally brought a female comedian on. I was getting a little tense there for a while. I was like, okay, it's all great. Got all these good looking funny. Yes.
Well, I want to thank all of our comics, because the list is still taped up here in front of me. Judge Poole, Tony. We had Tony Terry performed on the show.
He performed, yeah.
Timmy Hall. We had Brian of the Wolfpack representing. George Wallace. Rick Younger from Mean Girls on Broadway, and Dominique took it home. It was a great lineup, great show, a lot of laughs, and like Sybil said, we're trying to sell these cabins out so we can send some kids to school and keep some kids in school.
Absolutely.
And for those of you who don't know, the cruise goes out this year in November, and it's 8 days. And there
November 6th.
November 6th through what, the 14th or something like that?
We didn't. You didn't tell us we to do math on this thing. You said come on in and talk politics. You didn't say.
Yeah.
But there is a Huggy Lowdown and Chris Paul package, if you will, in which because you know go-go music, Coy?
A little bit.
Okay, so these two guys are the go-go.
You better stop walking around here in those pajamas.
I think he's talking to his wife. I hope. So
you okay, bro?
Michael Irvin, you better stop walking around out here.
You gonna have him out there shoveling some snow or something? I don't know.
Yeah, the go-go package. Tell them about the go-go package.
So Huggy and Chris are go-go aficionados, and when they've had the go-go rooms on the cruise, this is where people just dance all night long.
Oh, wow.
And they leave the go-go. Hug?
Yeah.
Were you looking for somebody in some?
I was looking at the same thing. What the hell Chris looking at? What the hell?
The go-go pack. I was looking for the notes for the go-go package.
Oh shit! That's what you was looking for. Me too.
So tell them what's in the package, Chris.
If you purchase your cabin for the Fantastic Voyage 20 in 2021 and you buy the Huggy Lowdown and Chris Paul DMV Go-Go package, you get a custom badge that gets you in all up front in all the autograph areas. You get access to our very special day party, a DMV day party. Just us, just those who know will be there, listening to that good go-go all day long, getting tipsy, drinking some what, Huggy? Cold blickies.
You know go-go music don't stop.
What's a cold blicky?
Yeah,
you gotta be from the DMV to know what a cold blicky is.
Got to, because I have no clue.
I'm with you.
And you also get to go on the Serenity deck, and you get to pick one of all the many cruise amenities you get to add on to. You get to choose that. So make sure you sign up for the Huggy Lowdown Chris Paul DMV Go-Go package.
And go to Black America Web and you can get more information and the phone number there and all of that. But I thought you guys did a tremendous job and really great. And I'm sure our captain appreciated it.
Tony Terry's got his own package too, but a lot of people have said you can't buy that if you're not light skinned. So, but you can get our package no matter what shade you are.
We're the Neapolitan kings of comedy.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
But and the comedians you had, Judge Poole, who really is a judge,
right?
And I forget.
And Timmy Hall is a cop.
Timmy Hall's a cop. Yeah, that was it.
We had a judge and a cop.
Yeah, and George Wallace changed out of the blue leather to put the purple leather on. It was a beautiful thing.
Reverse. It was reverse.
George roasted the hell out of J. Anthony Brown, didn't he?
Oh yeah,
on our comedy show. Oh man,
yeah.
Got it. We gotta have Jay. We gotta have Jay on the next one to retaliate.
Yeah,
and he will.
I see what you did there, Chris.
And he will, absolutely.
That'd be a good versus, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that'd be a good versus.
And you know what? That was another great idea that came out of your conversation, talking about the versus battles. Maybe something like that could happen. Oh, yeah. I don't know if that's already been, suggested for the cruise, but I thought it was a great idea as you guys talked about it the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Have you all seen that there's a new versus battle and it's going to be D'Angelo, but there's no opponent that's been announced yet? So I'm just wondering who's going to be.
That's supposed to be at the Apollo or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the Apollo. So I'm wondering who's going to go against him.
Does D'Angelo know?
Right.
I love D'Angelo. I really love D'Angelo, but I'm just wondering because he's, out there and sometimes not quite, in touch with what's going on.
So you're saying they can't have a versus against Lauryn Hill?
Because nobody. I mean, Lauryn Hill's got nothing on. Who was that came to the last one an hour and a half later?
Keisha Cole. Keisha Cole.
Yes, Keisha.
Yeah, she apologized.
Yeah, okay. Apology. Okay, but still, what else you doing?
Right.
Run around the city with Trouble. The rapper. Girl, don't do it, girl. Don't date him, girl. No, he's ran through like Herschel Walker. Do not date him, please.
Okay. Coy is feeling some kind of way. All right.
It's just a little bit of Atlanta gossip.
Shit.
And you good for that. You good for that.
Shit.
Can we give a little bit of a sneak preview of your story for tomorrow, Coy?
Ooh. Tomorrow's story is
let me just set it up, because we go through our production call every day about the stories that we have done. And sometimes, there's just one story that generates a lot of heat and a lot of discussion today. And oftentimes, I shouldn't say today, oftentimes it's Coy's social justice story. This is not so much social justice, in my opinion, but it did generate a lot of discussion. So Coy, if you could just, and you don't have to give it all, because we want people to read it tomorrow, but definitely give us a taste.
Okay, so there is a 27-year-old pharmacy graduate student at the University of Tennessee. Her name is Kimberly DA, and she has gotten in trouble by a committee at her school, which basically has policed her social media accounts in a sense, and said that what she was posting was crude and vulgar, mainly because of the caption that she posted, but also what she was wearing, which was, it was a tight-fitting dress. And this is a Black woman. Black women, we have
she's got a real Black girl figure.
She does. And it was said that it does not,
like spit out and
bam, bam.
Huggy's plan is getting bigger.
Huggy, are you looking her up, or
I am Groot? I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot.
Oh, shit.
I am Groot.
Man.
Okay,
do it what he does naturally.
So we have it? Okay, so let's show you a picture from her social media.
Wow.
That's her as the are we muted? Okay, so that's her as the pharmacology graduate student, and that's her in her off hours and her other off hours.
What's her major? I'm just asking. I don't know.
I know.
Pharmacy.
So she's a pharmacology major.
Okay.
In graduate school.
I mean, she's smart. She's really smart. You got to be very intelligent. Just, going through my own college experience, and I majored in biology, and I was looking into, what other concentrations outside of pre-med that I might want to consider. And people are like, if you want to go into pharmacy, get ready, because there's a lot of chemistry. It's very, very difficult.
So you have to be, right.
You cannot slip up in that.
And it's one of the most difficult majors you're going to find for a lot of people. And especially for Black students, they don't make it easy for you at all. And not that they should, but I'm just saying that it is a difficult major. But she wants to be like a brand ambassador. And so that's why she, photographs herself in her off-hour clothing and what have you. So I'm just wondering what you guys think of this. And was it fair of the school to monitor her social media, or should she be allowed to continue to post as she wishes?
I think she should be allowed to post as she wishes. She's not posting anything hateful or hurtful to anybody else. Some women of color cannot help how they're built. Right. So if you just have a lot of what we consider to be sexy, You know, we know the parts of the body that men focus on that are the sexy parts.
And what is that, Chris? And do tell.
And do tell.
She's a pharmacist, you know, the C, the V, and the S.
Sound like a drugstore.
So when you have more of those, more of that, you're not trying to be lewd,
right.
or it's just how you're built.
She's not naked. She's not
right.
She's not naked.
Two women can put on the same dress, and then one of them is on Instagram looking like like oh, she must be a prostitute or something. She a stripper or something. No, she's just built. She's just blessed. Reverend Lowdown. She's just blessed.
And highly flavored. Yes.
I feel a sermon coming on. Because when I saw that picture, I said, look at the fleas on Fluffy. I wouldn't put that much meat in a pot of beans.
Let me just say that when I was growing up, and I did develop very early, and it was and you grow up in a neighborhood like, you come see me when you're so many years older, however, whatever the line was. Yeah,
really.
And so, but
you know those old creeps used to tell the girl, she gonna be a nice looking young lady when she get older. You looking at her now, you fucking creep.
Right.
And so that's why it was really important for me to play down this in order for people to focus on what I was saying and what I was able to offer in terms of my brain.
Right.
It's a different day now, and I get that. I think, and this was a part of our discussion, and I'd like to hear from you guys, especially as fathers of daughters, what you think about the way she has presented herself, and if you're okay with it, and from our viewers as well, because I thought that some of those things were that wasn't business wear. That wasn't even after 5 attire. That was I know. But if you were presenting yourself as a pharmacologist,
so what are you saying? That was the last night on the cruise attire? What are you saying?
Might as well night without the sheet, for togas and all of that stuff that it used to be. But I'm just really curious.
She got the body and she got the brains. She's smart. I don't have a problem with it.
Right. Yeah. I think if you have a problem with her, then you are the one with the problem.
Right. Exactly.
I think she's a pharmacist. She's, like Huggy said, she's got the brains. What she chooses to do on her social media, she's not hurting anybody. She's not being hateful. She's not being ignorant on there.
Right.
Hey.
And do you think this would affect her getting a job or not?
No, it's between her and her OnlyFans. It does not matter.
That's awful, bro. That's awful. You're awful.
No, it should not hurt her getting a job. No. I mean, are we such a prude nation that lingerie is out of bounds? I mean, does she have to be? She has to be in the music industry. Rihanna is on Instagram and everything, showing off her Fenty.
Yeah, but she's not a owner of this business, and she is a student at the school, even though it's a public university. And so I'm not mad at her for taking them, and having them change the rules if that is the case. I just, as her mother, I would have suggested that she not go be quite as explicit in her dress. That's the only, and yeah, okay, so call me a prude, but I just think that was it was a bit much, because if we tell our kids, be careful how you present yourself on social media because it can come back at you. This is a perfect example. Right. And so, but what do I know? I'm just.
I'd say if any male pharmacist, if there was a brother on his social media walking around shirtless in Speedos or whatnot, nobody would say nothing.
Yeah.
They wouldn't say nothing.
Or what if it was Professor Clump?
Then we would probably call it body positive. It's so many different things. We can put it in a different light. It's body positive.
Huggy, are you having a moment? Are you just Huggy? Are you just kind of visualizing?
Nah, what about the OnlyFans? Now, what are we talking? What are we speaking about, man? I got a little sidetracked. So
we lost him back during the clip of the pictures.
Back at the clip.
We gotta go back and pick him up.
Matter of fact, pick you up later.
All I know is her vaccination line gonna be hella long. There's like 800 days in that line.
You're right. See, they need to be thinking about how they can use her.
From frontline workers all the way, especially as you get to the 1Bs and the 75 and olders. Yes.
Well, I'll be a 1B, one brother.
She can help energize the Black community to get vaccinations.
To encourage them. Yep. Absolutely. So it could happen. It really could happen. Huggy and Chris, where are you guys going to be next? You have anything that you'd like to share with us since we didn't know about the?
I got it right here.
The cruise video.
Next Monday we will be on with Sybil.
Oh, bro, why you keep doing that shit?
Coy Malone will be right here. That's it,
bro.
Don't worry, Huggy. We're gonna have some more great topics for you to discuss.
No, I was looking for the other list we had, bro.
Are you looking for your plant?
Yeah.
I'm saying we got to come back now. The listeners want to know about your plant. They want to follow it and watch it grow.
You should get
like
into
reality
TV
page.
Right.
Did you lose it? Where'd it go?
Wouldn't that be funny if next week Huggy's plant grew? Yeah, and it starts to look like Coy's. He's going to have that kind of background next week.
His plant's not growing. I'm going to tell you why. You know how people, like I'm sure Coy does, she nurtures her plants and she talks to them. Huggy talks to his plant, but he's very mean to it. Huggy, show him what you say to your plant. I caught him. This is how he talks to his plant.
What the fuck is wrong with you? I done watered this motherfucker with Viagra.
He says the same stuff to the plant that his father, Huggy's father, used to say to him. One day the plant's gonna turn around, Huggy gonna be gone.
I know. I mean, who talks to their 7-year-old child that way?
I can see the fear in your eyes.
Oh God. Okay, so we like to end our show with a little inspiration. Huggy and Chris. And
Yogi's Juice.
Worry is not going to get you where you want to go. Actions will.
Wow.
You want me to repeat that for you?
Bring it back, Sybil. Bring it
Come
back.
On. Worry is not going to get you where you want to go.
What if you're worried about your gas light? And that engine light.
Just let it roll.
Yogi wrote that when the engine light came on.
You've been in her car.
He was on the side of the road with the hazards on. Oh, shit. I feel inspired right now.
Worry isn't going to help at all. Let me just pull over to the side.
Pull over to the side. Hey, I might as well get some work in while I'm at it.
Give me some laughing baby. Oh, Chris and Huggy, thank you so much as always, and Coy for bringing the social activism and you guys bringing the laughter. It's been a fun day. I appreciate you guys have warmed up a very chilly day for me here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so we appreciate you guys.
Some of it got hella dark quick.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, it's can you guys see this?
Ooh, yuck.
Yeah.
Does it say 10 degrees?
That says 10 degrees. Yeah, that's what we are now. And with the wind chill factor, it's like a -3.
Wow.
Although in my family in Chicago, it's like, that's Monday.
That's
a Monday in February.
Well, that's June.
You're right about that too.
Yeah.
You're right, absolutely right.
Laughs in Southern California.
Yeah.
I've
Chris,
never seen
Chris,
that.
did you do the show? We was in Milwaukee, bruh.
No.
Milwaukee's so fucking cold.
Yeah.
Milwaukee's so damn cold, bruh.
Yeah. I mean, you think about cities like Milwaukee and Minneapolis and all of those. This is every day. You know, it's no big deal. But
Yeah,
in Dallas Fort Worth, it's a deal. It's a deal, especially because there's so many power outages. And God bless all those people who have experienced that.
Wow.
Because there've been blackouts and power outage and brownouts because people have been turning on all of their electricity and stuff, and that's burned out the.
Sybil's power's out right now. Yolanda's been riding a bicycle connected to a generator this whole hour.
Yeah.
Hurry up, Sybil! I'm burning a hole in my yoga pants. Sybil said it was a dude walking the dog from the car, bro, just dragging it on the ice.
He was on the way to look for some power.
Cold dog.
One more thing before we go. We have a wonderful sponsor of our Little Known Black History Fact. And we are talking about Alzheimer's disease and how it affects our community. Half of all Black families are affected by Alzheimer's. And so there's a new study here in North Texas. And so we are thankful for their support. And I'd like you to take a look at this.
Half of all Black families are impacted by Alzheimer's, but we don't know why. At HSC, they're investing in new research, a study to find solutions for your family. To join the research study, please visit www.blackalzbrainstudy.com.
So please take a look at that. We will have a special on that, not tomorrow, but Huggy. Okay, well, goodbye, Hug.
Hey, I apologize. I just looked at, I don't know how this.
That's a money tree, Hug.
Wrong tree.
I don't know.
Chris, I tried to get back before the video went off and it fell, bro. I was like this. Oh shit. I'll be like Coy next week.
Bye, you guys. Thank you so much. And tomorrow, J. Anthony Brown will be with us. Have a great one. Please
Love y'all.
Stay safe.
Love y'all.